Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we'll discuss the various basic colors found in apparel and accessories, their positive and negative associations, and what wearing them says about you. When assembling your outfit each day, there are a number of considerations to be made. The overall formality scale, seasonality, and what in particular you may have on your schedule. Equally important to these, though, are the colors you choose to incorporate, as colors not only have the potential to affect the mood of others around you, but also to present aspects of your own personality. Research has shown that colors can even change our heart rate, blood pressure, and respiration, as researchers Keith Jacobs and Frank Hustmeyer discovered in 1974. With that in mind, then, we've rounded up the most common associations to the colors of the rainbow, the grayscale, and everyone's favorite outlier, brown, to show how you can incorporate them into your outfits with reflections of your own personality. Without any further ado, then, let's jump right in and start with red. Positive associations for the color red include passion, love, romance, arousal, boldness, energy, willpower, confidence, persuasion, excitement, stimulation, leadership, and strength. Meanwhile, negative associations include danger, aggression, and riskiness. And Google Drive has chosen to reboot. Overall, red is a color that's highly charged with emotions, and boldness is the name of the game. With that in mind, try not to overdo how much red you're incorporating into your outfit, or it will have the potential to look overly flashy. If you wear a lot of red, chances are that you're energetic, strong-willed, and outspoken. You like to live life to the fullest and take risks more than other people might. You're also likely to be easily excitable and perhaps slightly self-centered. Conversely, if you're hoping to get noticed more often, consider incorporating more red into your outfits, as the science of optics tells us that red is often the first color to be noticed by the human eye. Stop signs are red for a reason, after all. Multiple studies on the color red have shown that it can have various effects on behavior, including that it can raise heart rate, affect your attention span, and make people who are wearing it seem more attractive. Red pairs well with blue, pink, gray, and brown. Just make sure to use it in moderation and consider more muted shades like maroon as opposed to a bright, true red. Next up is orange, whose positive associations include creativity, ambition, energy, sociability, friendliness, warmth, positivity, opportunity, youth, learning, abundance, and optimism. Negative associations include immaturity, divided attention, and tackiness. Orange is something of a hit or miss color overall, as wearing it can show that you're creative and ambitious, but if you're wearing too much, you've got the potential to look like an escaped convict or a traffic cone. Similarly to red, wearing more muted shades, whether those be pastel tones or darker shades, can soften these effects. Orange draws in others for conversation or other social interactions, so it's a color that is good for extroverts and those who generally like to talk. Orange is also going to get you noticed, though not quite as readily as red will. Keep in mind, though, that despite its positive connotations, bold orange can put some people off, as studies have shown that orange is many people's least favorite color, especially among women. Orange pairs well with blue, black, gray, brown, and green, so in other words, it's a great accent color against the staples of menswear. Our video on how to wear and pair it well is here. Third today is yellow, whose positive associations include happiness, courage, sunshine, activity, creativity, excitement, alertness, and an overall casual quality. Meanwhile, negative associations include immaturity, addiction, and fear. In general, wearing yellow will contribute to a happy, fun, and positive mood overall. It is the color of sunshine, and accordingly, it has the potential to lift everyone up. Studies have shown that this mood lifting is partly contributed to by the increased production of serotonin in the brain when observing the color yellow, and it also has the potential to raise people's metabolism. Yellow also improves concentration, which is why you see it on billboards, street signs, legal pads, and highlighters. Similarly to red and orange, the other warm colors, it's also best used in moderation and in lighter or darker shades. Yellow is also a color that can communicate fear, so if you're naturally timid or shy, you may want to avoid it or wear it only in small doses. It's great for casual wear, weekends, and the warmer months of the year, and it pairs well with gray, green, and brown in particular. We've also done a video on wearing yellow, and you can find it here. In the number 4 slot is green, whose positive associations include freshness, relaxation, comfort, recognition, care, sociability, money and finance, nature, charisma, trustworthiness, creativity, balance, healing, and generosity. Negative associations include mystery, envy, rigidity, and stagnation. Green is a color that is easy on the eyes and on the mind, so if you find yourself wearing green regularly, there's a chance that you want to be well-liked and recognized. Green is said to produce the least amount of eye strain when exposed to it for long periods of time, and researchers at the University of Amsterdam have found that seeing green keeps people in a good mood overall. A study published in the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin also found that green can stimulate creativity. When researchers exposed participants in a study to the color green before they began working on a creative task, the researchers found that the creativity of the participants increased. Obviously, green is also commonly associated with nature, so it can have a grounding and calming effect that way as well. Green is also associated with the military, and wearing olive drab in particular can give you the impression of being a rule follower or especially rigid in personality. Green pairs well with yellow, brown, and gray, and if you didn't guess it already, our video on green is here. Next up is a true menswear staple, blue. Positive associations here include friendliness, loyalty, positivity, confidence, calm, honesty, trustworthiness, peace, intelligence, efficiency, success, control, kindness, sympathy, independence, truth, and wisdom. There are comparatively few negative associations here, but those most commonly reported are shyness and coldness. Overall, blue is a soothing color that will make those around you feel more comfortable. Research from the University of British Columbia, among other institutions, has also found that darker hues like navy blue can increase the production of calming hormones like oxytocin in the brain, and that people feel safer exploring their ideas when they're surrounded by blue. Blue can often give its wearer a sense of being in control, so it's a particularly good choice for job interviews or other corporate events. Blue pairs particularly well with pink, red, and orange, but as we've mentioned in numerous other videos, it can be considered a neutral in menswear and can really pair with many other colors. In fact, we've done several videos in the past on blue, so you can take a look at our full color pairing playlist here. Next up is purple, also called violet, and its positive associations include leadership, sophistication, wealth, luxury, creativity, charm, insight, confidence, imagination, sentimentality, and spirituality. Negative associations, meanwhile, include intimidation, unpredictability, sensitivity, shyness, and introversion. As we've discussed in our previous video on wearing and pairing purple, which you can find here, rulers throughout history wore purple in their robes and other vestments, so you can tap into some of this regal power by putting purple into your outfits. Purple projects confidence in its wearer, but on the flip side, others may also find purple a bit intimidating subconsciously. Purple pairs well with the grayscale, white, gray, and black, as well as brown, red, and blue. Coming to the end of the rainbow now, let's talk about pink, whose positive associations include sincerity, love, romance, optimism, sophistication, comfort, affection, nurturing, kindness, and calm. Negative associations for pink include vulnerability and weakness. To get the most obvious point out of the way first, pink isn't just for girls. It can, of course, be worn by anyone. Up until the mid-20th century, pink was actually a common color for young boys, and it used to be associated with Mars, the Roman god of war. Pink may also have powerful effects on mood and emotional health as well. In the 1970s, psychologist Alexander Schaus found that prison inmates who stared at walls and ceilings painted in pink reported a decreased level of aggression overall. Pink is generally a well-liked color by society, and as such, it's often used in marketing initiatives. You can think of breast cancer awareness or the millennial pink wave of 2017 as examples. Pink pairs well with red, yellow, green, blue, gray, and teal, which of course is a combination of green and blue. For more on pink, our video is here. Next up, let's get into the grayscale, beginning with white. Positive associations here include confidence, perfection, balance, innocence, purity, simplicity, optimism, positivity, courage, reliability, and freedom. Negative associations for white include perfectionism and sterility. Given that white is commonly associated with things like freedom, purity, simplicity. Not so simple to remember. Given that white is commonly associated with things like freedom, purity, and simplicity, this is why many people often buy things in white, especially like furniture, when turning over to a new chapter in their lives. White is a neutral color, or really the absence of color, and thus it can be worn by many different personality types, as it is, in essence, a blank canvas. In addition to helping you appear clean and innocent, white can also give the impression that you're well-organized and in control of things. Too much white can have the potential to wash you out, however, so we'd suggest pairing it with other colors in your ensemble. White pairs well with gray, blue, brown, purple, and red. We've got an article on wearing it well as an article on how to wear off-white, and if you'd like to see these turned into videos, let us know in the comments below. Now, as you might have guessed, gray is up next. Positive associations here include balance, neutrality, sophistication, tranquility, maturity, and composure. Meanwhile, negative associations include blandness, conformity, coldness, sterility, and apathy. Another staple neutral shade in menswear, gray is a classic that will have you looking organized and reliable. If you find that your closet is full of gray, break up the monotony of those grout fits by incorporating other colors to spice things up. While those who wear a lot of gray generally prefer not to draw too much attention to themselves, wearing an excess of gray can actually suppress your mood in addition to washing you out visually. Darker charcoal grays can make a more powerful, assertive statement, whereas lighter grays are more nonchalant. Gray pairs well with pink, black, white, red, and blue. It can also go well with brown, as we mention in this video, and don't forget to take a look at how you can best pair shirts and ties with your gray suits here. Now let's round out the grayscale with black, whose positive associations include sophistication, strength, power, authority, formality, elegance, luxury, intelligence, and efficiency. Black does also have a number of negative associations as well, including coldness, harshness, depression, aggression, mystery, death, and mourning. Black is a go-to for many people, of course, but it does have the potential to be overpowering, and it can wash out many skin tones. As we mentioned, for both white and gray, adding some pops of color can soften the look overall. Black is also well loved for its ability to slim down your frame a bit, should that be of interest to you, but there are other ways of accomplishing this, as you can find here. People who wear a lot of black clothing are generally ambitious and purposeful, but they can also be sensitive. They can be emotional and easily excitable as well, though they may try to hide it more than wearers of red would, for example. And reinforcing the negative association between black and aggression, research at the University of Florida found that hockey players wearing black jerseys were more likely to be penalized for aggressive physical contact than players wearing white jerseys. Black pairs well with its grayscale companions gray and white, as well as red, and it's great for formal occasions. Just think of the black tie and white tie dress codes, for example, but overall, we find black to be mostly overrated, as you can find in this video. And furthermore, a black suit isn't as versatile as you might think, as we discuss here. To wrap things up today, we've of course got one more color to discuss, which is brown. Its positive associations include commitment, reliability, stability, ruggedness, nature, intelligence, and respect. Meanwhile, its negative associations include blandness and conformity. Brown is the color of earth, and similarly to green, is also well represented in nature, and as such, it is seen as another grounding, centering color. Wearers of brown are seen to be dependable, smart, and rational, and they're less likely to rush into things, preferring to consider their options sensibly. Wearers of brown are more likely to take a conservative approach to things, respect their elders, and seek out peace and stability, as well as providing it to others. Since brown is another neutral hue and doesn't communicate any strong or heightened emotions, it has also been shown to promote more effective communication between parties. Brown can be a bit bland in some circumstances though, so adding a pop of color here or there may also be a good idea. In general, there actually isn't a color that brown doesn't pair well with, including all of the colors we've discussed today, and of course there are multiple shades of brown as well, everything from buffs and tans to deep chocolate and charcoal browns. And conversely to black, we find brown to be vastly underrated in menswear, as you can learn in our video on brown here. Hopefully you've learned a bit more today about why you naturally gravitate towards certain colors, and gotten some inspiration about which ones you'd like to incorporate more of into your wardrobe. Overall, you've got two basic ways to think about leveraging color in your outfits. You can either choose colors based upon the mood you're in already, or you can choose colors based upon the mood you'd like to be in. And be sure to consider how well the colors you're choosing harmonize with your skin tone, eye color, and hair color. We've got a video on that subject here. Also, one more reminder to check out our full playlist on pairing colors and patterns, and we'll give particular mention to our video on using the color wheel to assemble superior outfits, and our video on incorporating 3 or more colors into a single outfit. On that note, though, keep in mind that the more colors you incorporate into one outfit, the more subconscious emotional signals you have the potential to be sending. So, we'd encourage you to have fun and experiment, but be mindful of just how you might be coloring other people's thinking. In today's video, my outfit is based around 3 principal colors, those being red, blue, and brown. Blue and brown, of course, are staple, neutral colors in menswear, and the red provides some bolder accents and an overall feel of liveliness. My cardigan sweater contains tones of blue and brown, as well as blacks and grays, and I'm wearing it over a shirt with a micro grid pattern in red and blue on a white ground. The shirt has French cuffs, but I'm wearing them in a barrel style today to fit better under the sweater sleeves, and the cufflinks, which aren't really meant to be seen, are in simple black. My trousers are in plain brown to ground the outfit, but they do have a reddish undertone that helps them to harmonize with other wardrobe elements, including my shirt and my shoes, which are dark oxblood penny loafers from Allen Edmonds. Continuing the color feel today are my socks, which are from Fort Belvedere. They're a relatively new two-tone solid design, these of course in red and blue. To find these socks, as well as a wide array of other Fort Belvedere accessories, you can take a look at the Fort Belvedere shop here.